Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. r/ask Reddit by Planet Reddit. What makes you instantly hate a person? I hate when people are argumentative about their opinions but refuse to even process counter arguments. They either completely ignore what you say or they cherry pick a phrase to misconstrue. In either case they essentially just restate their original argument. This is all 10x more infuriating when they do this with an air of smugness or superiority. Or you drill down on their position and they just refuse to engage and support their own statements, but instead go with deflection and try to change the subject. This quote applies to so many who operate in bad faith. Never believe that anti-Semites are completely unaware of the absurdity of their replies. They know that their remarks are frivolous, open to challenge, but they are amusing themselves. For it is their adversary who is obliged to use words responsibly. Since he believes in words, the anti-Semites have the right to play. They even like to play with discourse by giving ridiculous reasons. They discredit the seriousness of their interlocutors. They delight in acting in bad faith, since they seek not to persuade by sound argument but to intimidate and disconcert. If you press them too closely, they will abruptly fall silent, loftily indicating by some phrase that the time for argument is past. Jean-Paul Sartre. This totally describes a lot of trolls on Reddit. They say stupid, thoughtless things to make people respond to them and then use these exact tactics. I wouldn't say hate, but I'll lose all respect for people who litter. Be a decent human being and throw your trash in a garbage bin, you waste of breath. True. Once had a guy litter on our first date at the table we were eating at outside. Was an immediate no thank you after that. I had a date do that, and I was all, "Aren't you going to pick that up?" And he said with a straight face, "They pay people to pick trash up. First and last date for me too." If they legit insult someone and then say it was just a joke, why can't you take a joke when the other person gets upset instead of saying that they're sorry? Ah yes, Schrödinger's jerk, the guy who says something offensive, then decides if he was joking based on the reaction of those around him. A guy knew someone in school who was so terrible about this. He was generally a very offensive and ouchy person. He would say so many things that were just downright mean and had basically no room for interpretation but would try to play it off with an exasperated ugh. It was a joke. Or that was sarcasm when it definitely wasn't. He was such a miserable person to be around. I'm so glad that I haven't even seen him since graduation. It was an actively painful experience to be around him. When I try to connect with someone over a shared hobby interest, and they shoot me down with some superiority complex. Cool Darth Vader shirt. I love Star Wars. You love Star Wars, huh? What was Watto's cousin Stitch's home world's regional governor's bodyguard's name? You don't know. What a pune. The irony is that Watto's cousin Stitch's home world's regional governor's bodyguard's name was Pune. Pune? Pune what? People who read one article online and then instantly post and shame the PPL it talks about. Didn't see the latest obscure study on chicken-based dog food? Well, you hate your dog and are a monster. I think some people go out of their way to be judgmental. Tell you what the article said? No, I only had time to skim Vegetal, because I'm far too busy smugly telling people they're killing their pets. Ugh, my mom does this all the time. She'll read a headline and just go ugh, we're so screwed or something. If I ask her for details or tell her to go more in depth she just goes I don't know, I'll send this to you. I've made it a point to do that whenever she gets in a headline ready mood. People who try to befriend you by shit talking others to create an us versus them dynamic. No, I don't hate other co-worker because they were a bit grumpy one day or wore an ugly t-shirt. I do however now hate you for trying to drag me into your shit. And you immediately know they do the same thing to other people about you. Oh big time. My boss pulls this a lot. The just between you and me. Ah yes, I absolutely believe I'm the only one you gossip with. Good old divide and conquer. Open mouth, closed mind. This, especially when they use history out of context as in facts that simply aren't true to debate. Reading does not kill you. That AP World History book isn't just for high school kids. Anyone who thinks they have some sort of authority over me when they don't. They usually don't know I hate them because I remain super nice all the time but I wouldn't do anything to help them. Oof, this. These are usually people who think I'm a BCH, but it's gotten me far in life. I knew this little 20-year-old bartender who was so rude to the servers and talked down to everyone, even 40-year-olds, and just thought really highly of herself. I could sense this within hours of my first shift. Sounds exactly like a bartender I worked with. Rude to the customers, to the other staff, to everyone except the manager, who thought she was just feisty BC. She toned down the beachiness by like 75% when he was around. Customers sometimes would complain about her to me and I would literally just tell them I'm sorry. None of us like her either. I hate her. This is just the way I am type of person. I don't have a filter. I'm just an who doesn't have tact or social awareness. Anti-vaxxers. I am a medical final year student and it makes my blood boil anytime I hear somebody say that they know more than leading experts in the field because they did a quick Google search. Did they though? I think you're giving them too much credit. Read it on Facebook. Someone who takes great joy in making as much noise as possible super early in the morning when everyone is trying to get some sleep, so that they also wake up. My mother does this. She has this I'm awake so everyone should be thing. Passive aggressive and rude. When someone refuses to look at the other side of an argument, then don't talk about US politics with anyone. Oh god. I tiptoe around those conversations with my scent, even if I think I'm pretty sure that they're LR leaning. People nowadays are like those blackouts with the fuses that are so super short, you want to light it just to see if you can throw it before it blows up in your hand. Alternatively, you want to say nah, fuck it, not worth the few moments of discomfort. People who don't pick up after themselves in public because that's not their job. Actually, in my country there's a fun movie Tether campaign about this topic. A couple is leaving the cinema and the girl says to the guy, why you don't pick up your litter? Don't know how to tell it. Just the vase for soda and the thing where the popcorn is served. And the guy says that's not my job. The guy's mom hears it miles away being at her home. So she throws her chancler and it travels for many places to the cinema to slaps guy's face. Then the mom says, I didn't raise lazy rude children. It's great. Everybody fears la chancla. Cheating on your so. I stopped talking with a good friend of mine because she cheated on my best friend when they were dating. I've been cheated on before, so I know how terrible it feels. Or when they try to rationalize it, as if they're not just adding to fire. Yep, I knew a girl who would say, well, I'm not breaking any vows as her excuse for dating married men. Hard to respect that. Chronic interrupting. Anyone who wants to jump in with but I have XYZ problem, that means I'm special and can't learn to control my chronic interrupting. Save it. I know it's probably unfair that I hate you and I don't care. My mum's partner does this. You can be halfway through a polite conversation because you don't want to be there in the first place, and all of a sudden that happened to Emmy, and I think I can speak for everyone. Yep, I wasn't actually finished talking. Purely anecdotal observation. I've noticed this seems to coincide with people who come from a large family. They learn at a young age they have to talk over other people to get in a word in edgewise, and never grow out of it. It's a small sample size, but the 3 worst interrupters I know come from families of 5 and 9 kids. I've only recently arrived at this observation, so perhaps more data points might blow it out of the water, but it's my current working theory. Not washing your hands after using the toilet. Yep, I work at a machine shop. Some of the warehouse guys will take monster shits and still not wash their hands, or will put their hands under the water, no soap, for like 2 seconds. Ew, I hate this. Ugh, these people. When they think they're funny when they bully someone, and when I confront them about it and they say what if it was a joke, like god, that makes me want to punch them in the face. Nothing better than joking about someone's physical appearance for weeks and when you get called out, dude, relax, it was a joke. Co-workers who don't work and are totally okay with you doing everything while they complain. Get out. My philosophy is, led by example. I often remind those people about my philosophy. Why do you take things so personally? Because you personally insulted me? If they speak loudly or are otherwise obnoxious. I am sorry, what? Well, this is awkward now. People who dismiss other people's passions. Example, I'm really an ex, and some people think it's silly but it really makes me happy, that's nice. Topic change. Counterpoint to this. though. There are also people who bring up their passions apropos of nothing all the time. We don't need to hear how much you love Harry Potter every day, Sarah. Certain people pleasers. It's like talking to an NPC or a wall. They just agree with everything you say and don't have any of their own opinions on things. Edit. I also don't mean this in just a confrontational manner, but in literally everyday talk or decision making. There is no healthy back and forth conversation. Edit. Loving the irony in the sum of these debates. You're so right. Nods in agreement. In seriousness yo. Depending on the person. Sometimes it's less stressful to just nod and move the convo along. People who say I can't help it. I'm insert zodiac sign. Hahaha. Sorry, it's cuz I am a Capricorn. Wild Cherry is my rising with Pacific Cooler as my moon sign. Being rude to wait staff. This also drives me up the wall. It's usually indicative of someone with no real control or agency in their own life, and has a need to exercise any authority they can get their hands on. One of the least attractive traits. Emo. People who judge others only by their appearance. Being white and bald doesn't make me a skinhead. In a literal sense it does. Whether we have hair or not, we're all skinheads. Happy endings are for kids. The real world isn't like that. No happy endings are for everyone. Deborah, you're just bitter because your boyfriend broke up with you. The real world is actually what you make of it. If there's no happy endings for you, you're probably a real and of a person or very unlucky. Or you have unrealistic expectations. You can be a good person with a decent work ethic and above average luck, but you'll still be miserable if you expect the world to throw favors your way all day every day. If they act fake, they are the people who will luck you over just to benefit themselves. If I notice a person is fake, I will instantly dislike them. Acting snobby by. Particularly if they claim they are not a snob. As a white person living in the South, a lot of racist white people tend to try to make race jokes about black people to me because they automatically assume I'm fine with it. It makes me so uncomfortable and fills me with rage. Miss me with that BS and lose my contact info. One-sided conversationalists will never reciprocate a "how you doing?" Will take anything you are saying doing as an invitation to talk about themselves. Will answer questions directed at you as if it is normal. Usually they're also massive complainers. I have two people, friends of friends, that literally know nothing about me, but I know about the blister on their big toe, or everything about the person they hate at work. Anyone who tells other people to smile. I too hate the school photographers. Audience members or co-workers in a meeting who raise their hand to ask a question, but then launch into an unsolicited story instead, especially if they wait until the very last second to start story time when everyone else is about to go. It's narcissistic, boring, and unfair to everyone else. Join our community Discord, link in description. The way they treat animals. When someone tries to one-up you in everything you say. When they bring up a topic that you're unfamiliar with, so you ask them to talk about it more and they say just Google it. Having the victim mentality. Their bad manners, and how inconsiderate they are towards others' feelings. I'm older, respect me. Instantly lose all respect for those people. Ignorance seasoned with pride. I'm a woman, black person, gay. Insert minority here. Which means I know more about this than you and I'm automatically right. That's called the experience fallacy. And if it were true, male gynecologists wouldn't be a thing. No man would ever go to a female doctor. Actors could only ever play people like themselves. And no one who wasn't a rich white male would have successful businesses. Finally someone says it. I am so pissed off with that crap. The best thing is, when you tell them that you don't like them, it's because they are X and not because they are just a garbage person. I don't care if some is gay, trans, black, white or blue. If you are a garbage person, I don't like you. Being late. If it's my first time meeting you and you are not punctual, be damn sure that it will contribute to my opinion of you. Either you don't respect my time or you don't respect your word, and neither of those things are good. When they recognize me as a fellow white guy and immediately drop their voice and start talking shit about POC. It's happened to me with surprising regularity lately. I'm in the UK and white, And this literally never happened to me until the referendum. Since the Brexit vote, random white people, like people I've never met before, seem to think that all white people have agreed it's okay to be racist and are just super open about it now. No, old man with beer down your shirt, I do not agree that it's so much better being served by a nice English girl rather than them damn foreigners. Go away. Happens all the time now. Anyone that says horrible stuff to a person and then just says I am just blunt. No, you're a D and it doesn't fly with me. As a woman myself, I instantly hate women who treat other women condescendingly in a work environment, especially when there's a man to impress around. It's like people can only like and respect one woman at a time, so there's a never-ending competition between us females. These horrible condescending women talk and act in a disrespectful way towards other women, and they usually do it with a smile on their faces, behaving in a passive-aggressive way that men don't even notice equals she seems normal and nice to him, but a BTCH to her competition. Other women. Animal cruelty. Smack a dog, and we're done. Same with rudeness to your significant other. Like, if you're gonna strike out at those who love you, right off. Believing in conspiracy theories. If you believe COVID-19 is a hoax, you are legitimately a shit human being and I want nothing to do with you. When they can't stop talking about the guys who they've slept with or who wanted to sleep with them. If I'm telling a story or talking to someone, they talk over me or start talking to the person I was already talking to. Just put a fucking mask on. Falsely accusing racism, sexism, phobia, etc. if you don't get your way when no such thing happened. I hate those people. If they have live, laugh, love anywhere in their house. If they aren't able to work on themselves and can't take any constructive criticism, edit. Thank you for all the upvotes. I know 59 isn't that many, but it's the most I've gotten so far. Talking loud in public. People who leave their shopping carts in the middle of the parking lot. There's a special place in hell for those people. People patting themselves on the back for being so woke. Just duck off. If they're cruel to children or animals. If you litter, I hate you instantly. You're instantly a slobbish mouth breather to me. Having no regard for other people's feelings. When kids in school bully teachers and talk bad about them. Look dude, they spend their day teaching us like you, so don't make their job more miserable than it already is. People who take work stress out on their colleagues. People who think they're woke when all they're really doing is generalizing those who don't agree with them. When I hear someone yelling at their kid in the grocery store. I hate when people look for something to be offended about. As reference, take Sky Jackson. She looked into her kid's private Snapchat story. She found a post that said Guacamole and doxed him. Also ruined his life. Got his parents fired. Got him expelled and sent into poverty. Their personality. Like, okay, I get you like anime, so do I, but you don't see me Naruto running down the hall and bumping into people. Thank you for supporting Planet Reddit. I love you. Subscribe for 3 videos a day.